Welcome to Boss Radio Live, everyone. Welcome to Boss Radio Live. I'm your host, NJ, and this is where he is the boss of me. Thank you guys for joining us today. I'm very excited about today's show for a couple of reasons. Number one, we are kicking off season number two. Season number two, you guys, we are kicking off season number two, and I'm excited. We had a whole 23 shows in season number one, and it went great. So we're on season number two, and I decided to start it off with what I call an inspirational bang with my next guest. So you will be excited to meet them. I'm excited to share them with you. This is Mark and John Cronin are joining us today, founders of John's Crazy Socks. But we will learn a little bit more about that later. You guys, I'm excited to have you guys, and we'll be back with our amazing guests in just a moment. It's Boss Radio Live with NJ, your three-dimensional podcast. Baltimore, Maryland. I love my city. Wow. You have to have balance.
Mother's Day extravaganza event being held by LUC Lois Button Culver.
Come meet me today at the Spirit Center. I want to hear what you have to say. Again, as I said, we're welcoming John and Mark Cronin to our show today. And they are founders of John's Crazy Socks. And everyone loves a good crazy sock, right? But in case you guys have not heard of Mark and John, here's a little bit about them. Mark and John Cronin are advocates, social entrepreneurs, and founders of John's Crazy Socks. This social enterprise is on a mission to spread happiness. John and Mark have created the world's largest sock store and have been named EY's Entrepreneurs of the Year. John, though he has Down syndrome, is an amazing entrepreneur on a mission to make a difference. John and Mark are fierce advocates for the rights of those with differing abilities. They have spoken before the U.S. Congress, the UN, and recorded 2 TEDx talks. They've also been featured on CBS, ABC, CNBC, and other stations. With 240,000 Facebook followers, a flourishing business, and after raising nearly $500,000 for charity, John's Crazy Socks is truly achieving their mission of spreading happiness one pair of socks at a time. So guys, welcome Mark and John Cronin. Or should I say John and Mark?
John and Mark, right?
Yeah, I'm taking somebody.
Wow, NJ, that was some intro.
And
I tried.
On starting your second season. You know, most people, I hope your audience appreciates it.
I hope so too.
They fade away after about 10 podcasts, and you never hear from them again. The fact that you're on your second season, that is great.
Well, thank you so much. And I understand you are a fellow podcaster. So I know you understand.
We do a podcast, but ours is nothing like yours. You got this professional thing, inspirational stories. The two of us, what's the name of our podcast?
the Spreading Happiness.
The Spreading Happiness Podcast.
Hey, I love it.
Bantering, telling stories, updates on John's love life. Very smooth. Telling jokes,
I love you guys. I love you guys. I know this is going to be a fun show. I can already tell. So I'm excited for it. So I wanna hop right in because as the intro said, you guys started a flourishing business. I want to start there with the business, but I know that is just the tip of the iceberg. So, but we'll start there. So tell us, either one of you, tell us about how John's Crazy Socks was born.
Well, let's see. The story starts in a small log cabin in the woods.
No.
No, not quite. It starts.
That sounds like a scary story.
It starts in suburban Long Island. We're out in a town called Huntington, outside New York City, and go back to the fall of 2016. So about 5.5 years ago. And where were you?
I was at Huntington High School. I couldn't be in my last year of school.
So John's in his last year of school, and like everybody else, is trying to figure out, what do I do next? And what were you looking at?
I like a job program in school. I got like the options I like.
Unfortunately, this is a reality for too many people in the United States who have a differing ability. John, I'll tell you a little bit about John, right? You're an entrepreneur.
Yes, I am.
You're a sock tycoon.
Yes.
Let's see, you're a public speaker.
Yes.
A philanthropist.
Yes.
You're an athlete.
Yes.
You're a dancer.
Wow.
Yes.
You got a girlfriend. So that means you're a boyfriend.
Yes, I'm very serious.
And you have Down syndrome.
Yes, I am. I have Down syndrome. Down syndrome never held me back.
But people aren't always willing to hire people with Down syndrome. So there he is trying to figure out, what do I do next? Doesn't see a good option. But John here is a natural entrepreneur. If you didn't see a job you wanted, what do you say?
I want to create one and make one.
He said, I'll make it.
Wow.
What'd you tell me?
I said I want to go spend with my dad and I started something in Chicago.
Which is very good. Here comes his dad that's going to business.
Yeah.
Now, MJ, I am a lucky man. I've got 3 sons, and this is one I can work with. So,
Sounds like a perfect duo.
now we got to figure out, okay, what type of business we're going to run. And MJ, I know you got a lot of business people in the audience. It means you got a lot of entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are always coming up with ideas. It doesn't mean they're all good ideas, but they got a lot of ideas. So what was one of your ideas for a business?
One of them is a food truck. I have an idea from the movie Chef and John Cronin. The movie about a father and son starting food truck.
Wow.
So a food truck. That seemed like a fun idea. I know Baltimore's got a lot of great food trucks.
They do.
So we're thinking, what could we make? Where would we put it? But we ran into a problem.
We can't cook.
That's a big problem.
But then, right before Thanksgiving of 2016, John had his eureka moment.
I did. I want to sell crazy socks. Why socks? It's fun. It's colorful. It's creative. It always let me be me. I want to create something my whole life.
John, we used to drive around looking for these socks. So this is what we figured. If John loved them that much, surely other people would too, and we could find our tribe. So at that point, and again, you got a lot of business people listening to you. Frequently at that point, what people do is they stop everything to prepare a business plan. That can be very smart, but that's not what we did. We just went the lean startup route. We said, let's get something up and running, and customers will let us know. So you already had the name.
Yeah, I got my name. I told website come idea.
Right. He insisted that his name be in the title. No, Mark wasn't going to fly. So we built a website on the Shopify platform. We got a little bit of inventory, and we're bootstrapping, right? So you got to make do with what you have. So the only marketing we did was to set up a Facebook page and I would take out my cell phone and we made videos. And who was in those videos?
I am. I talk about socks. Socks, more socks.
And we noticed those videos started getting shared. So what day did we open?
We opened on Friday, December 9th, 2016.
And we didn't know what to expect. But that first day, we got what felt like a flood of orders. We got 42 orders. And most of them were local. And that made sense, right? We lived in Huntington. John was in the high school. We had temporary office space there. So what did we do with those first orders?
Our first one is our home delivery. We got red boxes.
We got these red boxes. We put the socks in the box. And we looked at it and said, this needs something else. So what else did we put in?
I put Advert and candy.
We got bags of Hershey's Kisses and filled the boxes up, loaded up the car, drove around, and you knocked on doors delivering socks.
I did.
How'd the customers respond?
Customers loved it, and they took a picture of socks and so on social media with against a spread.
We had customers ordering again just to get John to come back to their door. And there was some nights, you got to check this out, NJ. There are some nights we're out past 10 o'clock at night, and John's knocking on doors saying, just John with your socks, don't. But that's how we got started. And by the end of that month, really 2 weeks, we had shipped 452 orders. We had about $13,000 in revenue. And we said, we got something here. We could make this work. I mean, we learned one.
People want about socks. Two, people want about socks from me.
People related to John. They liked that personal touch of the note and the candy and the home delivery. They liked the fact we had already pledged 5% of our earnings to the Special Olympics. Wow. And you also, and you know this, you learn by doing. Mm-hmm. So we learned that this young man,
this is old man,
and this old man, we could sell socks. So
wow.
That's how we started. But today, where are we today? So 5.5 years later, we just moved into a new, larger warehouse. Mm. How many different socks do we have?
We have 4,000 different kinds of socks.
Wow.
John here owns the world's largest sock store.
Yes.
Wow.
4,000 different socks. We've been able to create 34 jobs. 22 of those are held by people with different abilities. Mm. We've now shipped 380,000 packages to 88 different countries. And we've now exceeded, we're about $525,000 that we have donated to our charity partners. So
amazing.
A long way.
Yeah, that is so amazing.
And you like to say, we're just getting started.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, you guys are awesome. And that is truly the definition of a grassroots campaign. That guerrilla, I love talking about what I call guerrilla marketing. that works. People don't realize it, but that really, really works. And so I'm just excited to hear this story. I love how you guys started, just got out there and did it.
Listen, we all frequently think, oh, if only I had more money. But how this is something I've come to believe. Too much money makes you stupid. That you're going to waste and do things because it's too easy. When you don't have the money, when you've got limited resources, and to an extent, we all have limited resources, then you got to be more careful, more thoughtful in what you're doing. Yeah. And it actually makes you more creative.
Absolutely. So one of the things you actually talked about, a couple of things that I want to kind of go back with. You said the term, and I used it in my intro because I saw it in your material, but you used the term differing abilities, which I love. And so talk about that, why you use that term, and I know it's on purpose, but why you use that terminology to describe John and people like him?
Because we all have differing abilities and different strengths, right? One of the lines we'll repeat: never be blinded by somebody's limitations. Just be awed by their possibilities. So there are things, I that I can't do, no matter how hard I try. Well, okay, that doesn't negate everything else I do. John here, John is organized and focused and diligent, and you follow through, and he's personable and cares about other people. He can't do our finances. Okay, so he doesn't do our finances, right? Uh, an analogy I'd make is if I want to start a basketball team, most likely I'm going to want LeBron James on my team. I don't care what his SAT scores were. I don't care if he can speak French. I want to know, can the man play basketball? And that's what our approach is. That everybody that we encounter, everybody has a strength, has something they can contribute. Everybody has a story that if we're willing to listen to, will make our lives richer. And so we don't talk about what people can't do. We don't focus on disabilities. We focus on different abilities and different strengths.
I think that is amazing. And you're right. I can't, like you guys say, you can't cook. I can't, I can't run a marathon. I'll just tell you now, that's not my gift. And so, but I have a bunch of other ones that I can contribute. And so, yeah, that's definitely true. That is definitely true. And I love that that is how you all look at it. So, you guys are really trying to create, and you've created it in your own business, this what you call the unified workplace, where you bring together people with differing abilities and other people into the workspace to work together and get things done. So what, and you use a term which I was like, okay, but neurotypicals.
Right. Right.
So, but you believe in putting people together, and you're not the only one. I've seen government do that. Government does it to some extent, but you really believe in this and believe that this makes a better workplace. So, can you talk about that?
Every employer wants to hire the best possible people for their organization. So here's one thing: if you exclude a group of people for arbitrary reasons, you cannot hire the best possible people.
Mm,
And the second part is you're putting together a team of people. So you need people with different strengths and different viewpoints. So diversity matters because it makes your business better. It makes you more resilient. So I'll give you an easy example out of American history. It's 1947, and Major League Baseball finally integrates when the Brooklyn Dodgers signed Jackie Robinson. The next two teams to integrate were the Cleveland Indians and the then New York Baseball Giants. Guess what? They became the best teams in baseball. Okay? So think about that as a business. Why did they succeed? Because before that, people, the employers were arbitrarily saying, we're not hiring anybody with dark skin. That hurt their business.
mm,
It helps their business say we're going to hire everybody. So today, we hear all the time from businesses, oh, I can't find enough people. I can't find enough good workers. They're out there. And one of the ways is you tap into this vast resource which is underutilized, and that's people with different abilities who make great employees.
yeah.
Here's some of our experience. Much of what we do is run a fulfillment shop, a pick and pack warehouse. Anybody who sells online, you got to have a pick and pack warehouse. Orders come in, you pick them, you pack them, you send them out. So over our 5+ years, we've hired from 3 basic labor pools: people with different abilities, moms. There are some dads in there, but moms, because we hire in 4-hour shifts. So you can put your kid on the bus in the morning, pick the kid up on the bus in the afternoon, and it's not heavy work. And then we have general laborers who want a $15 an hour starting job. By far, the best labor pool, the best performing labor pool are people with different abilities.
Wow.
They want to be there. They're excited. They're focused. They show up. They bring an energy and an enthusiasm to the job. What are the results of this? Better morale, better productivity,
Mm.
better retention, and it helps us recruit. So you mentioned our TEDx talks. We have a TEDx talk entitled "Hiring People with Differing Abilities is Not Altruism; It's Good Business." And I want to be really clear here, right? If you got to know John, you would know he's a really nice guy. I am not. If you're
I don't
working
believe
for
that.
us, you have to produce.
Mm.
Everybody in our business who works with us produces. Everybody knows why their job is important. Everybody is contributing to the mission. We don't give jobs to anybody.
Mm.
And that's part of the dignity, is people know they got that job because they earned
Wow. That's an awesome mission that you guys are on, and that's just part of it. That's that's just one part of what you're doing. So this happiness with the socks. I mean, that's awesome because how fun are fun socks? Like, and you all do these socks. You can do them for businesses. I want you to talk a little bit about your socks because you do them for special occasions, businesses. I saw weddings.
it. So here's where we start. We just start with my partner here,
Yes.
who loves these socks. And we're going to use them to spread happiness, right? They, the socks at the end of the day, we're not really a sock store. Yes, we have more socks than anybody else, but the socks become the physical manifestation of the story and the mission,
Mm.
right? So you get them, and what we hear all the time from customers, and we love it. When I put the socks on, they make me feel good.
Mm.
Create customer experiences. But the socks, one of the reasons we have such choice is so you can personalize things. You can find something that's personal for you. And then in addition to that, yes, we make custom socks. So we do that for businesses. We've made thousands of socks from Microsoft that they've used at conferences,
Wow.
IBM and Google. People have bought them for weddings. So Meredith Vieira had socks made for her son's wedding. Uh, we have, St. Joseph's College has ordered socks. They're going to give them to every incoming freshman. Holy Cross College up in Massachusetts gave them out as a thank you gift to donors and raised $800,000. We just delivered them to an HVAC company that has 2 pairs, hot and cold, that we custom made for them, and they're giving them as thank you gift to their customers.
I love it.
But here's what happens, right? So instead of sending them, what they had been doing was sending cookies, which was a nice thing. But they sent them these socks. The customers are now wearing them, and every time they put them on, they think about that business. And then somebody sees the socks, and now they start talking about that business, and they talk about John's Crazy Socks, the young man with Down syndrome who started a business and how they're spreading happiness and giving back. Wow, that just keeps going.
Yes. Oh wow. And that is true. I don't know, a good pair of like silly socks or fun socks, they just bring your mood up.
Well, plus, so many of us today, we wear a uniform. It's a suit and tie, or maybe it's khakis and a polo, but you can wear socks to express your personality. I love it when we see police officers showing us their socks under their uniforms because, look what I get to say. It's wonderful.
Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome mission. I love it. And that's definitely a way to spread the happiness. But the other part is, like you were talking about, the giving back. And like you said, you guys have given, we mentioned the 500,000, $500,000 you have given to charities. And you mentioned the Special Olympics, but what other kind of charities are you supporting with
Well,
your
we
funds?
we started with the Special Olympics. And why the Special Olympics?
I am Special Olympic athlete.
How long you been playing Special Olympics for?
Oh,
I was 5 years old.
So now 21 years, tomorrow morning he's got soccer. And a number of our colleagues are Special Olympic athletes, a number of us have coached. If there was no Special Olympics, there would be no John's Crazy Socks.
mm,
But what we've also done is gone on to create socks that celebrate causes and raise awareness and raise money. So the first example, you designed our first awareness socks. What
I
were
did.
those?
I down the Trump awareness stuff.
Down syndrome awareness socks that celebrate people with Down syndrome. And they raise money for the National Down Syndrome Society.
yes.
But we have autism awareness socks, cerebral palsy
Yeah,
awareness
I
socks,
know from Emily.
right? We have pet rescue socks that raise money for the North Shore Animal League.
Wow.
When the pandemic struck, we wanted to do something. So we created healthcare superhero socks to say thank you to the frontline workers. Those have raised over $50,000 to the for the American Nurses Foundation. We just introduced our new socks, the American Sign Language socks, which have a design of "I love you" on the socks, and they're raising money for the Lexington School for the Deaf, the largest school for the deaf in New York State. It's
I love it.
part of it is we don't think it's enough to just sell stuff. You got to give back. You got to, in a larger sense, Milton Friedman, the economist, somewhat famously said, businesses have one obligation, and that is an obligation to their shareholders and owners. We disagree.
Mm,
I think businesses have an obligation to all of their stakeholders, not only the owners, but to employees and customers and the community and the environment. And so what we share with our customers is when you buy those socks from us, you're going to get great socks, right? A great choice. We have over 29,000 five-star reviews, right? You're going to get great socks. But here's what else you're going to know. You're going to know that you enable us to hire people with different abilities. You're going to know that you're helping us give back. You're going to help us spread happiness. So you become you're part of our organization. We share that experience. So that's part of what it's about.
wow.
For spreading happiness, what do you say are the keys to happiness?
It's gratitude and do for others.
Gratitude and do for others. We're so fortunate to get to do what we do. So the giving back is part of that.
Wow. Awesome. And this is part of your I saw it a couple of places, the 5 pillars, I
The
believe
5
you guys
pillars.
yes. So okay, and we've actually gone through a few of them already, but can you run through?
Sure. Right. And right? You talk about in your show, about spirituality, but you got to know what you're about. You got to have your values. And for us, it's 5 pillars. So 1,
One, it's been in hope, give it back, find products you can love, make it personal, and make it a quick play to us.
So
Mm,
I'll walk through them quickly. Make it
mhm.
a great place to work. If we want to spread happiness with customers in their community, we have to start at home.
Mm,
We have to start at our place. That our colleagues have to be happy at work. And you do that, you offer a mission worthy of their commitment. You make sure that everybody knows why his and her job matters. There's no make work, there's no insignificant job. Everybody's job is important. Put,
yes.
put people in a position to succeed. That's, a little bit of, don't ask people to do what they can't do. Play to their strengths. And if somebody needs support, Kenny or one of our packers, if he needs a chair, a special chair, get him the chair. If our webmaster needs a software, get him the software, right? If Nazira or our web designer needs a special computer, with particular power and abilities, get her the computer. Now, we don't have endless resources, but put people in a position to succeed. Then recognize what they do. NJ, you work really hard on this podcast. You care about it. Doesn't it feel good when somebody says to you, NJ, I see what you're doing? So just
Absolutely.
do that, right? Some of it is just walking around and saying thank you.
Mm,
And the last piece there of making a great place to work, stay the hell out of the way. Let people do their jobs, right?
that's a
So,
good piece of advice.
so that's part of it. Then there's making it personal. We're looking to build relationships with our customers. We're not just looking for transactions. So to this day, from day one to this day, what goes in every package?
Every packet get chicken note and candy.
Thank you note and candy.
Mm,
Yes, we have shipped to 88 different countries, but if we get an order between our office and our home, what are you doing?
I'm doing home delivery.
You're still doing a home delivery. We do anything we can to connect with that individual customer. Then fun products you can love that operate in two ways. We don't just sell anything, right? You got to know, it's got to connect. So everything we sell has to be fun, spread happiness, and
I gotta be behind.
John has to approve. Right?
okay, John.
So,
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. A few years back, somebody ordered some socks that had some foul language on them. I'm telling you, those socks would sell, but not us. John looked at him and said, "Get this out of here. Not doing that." And that's okay. One way your values matter to you is if you're willing to sacrifice money for it. That's
Mm-hmm.
short term. In the long term, you're better off. Right? But the other side of that fun products, we can do, we have our social mission, but you have to drive that business, that operation. We have to have a great website, great choice. We got to have great products. I told you 29,000 5-star reviews.
Yes.
We got to have great service. So we do same day shipping. We do better shipping than Amazon. And Jeff Bezos over at Amazon, he's not putting a thank you note and candy in there.
No, I do not get that in my package.
But we're able to do that because of the people we hire.
Mhm.
And then, the giving back we spoke about, the products, we sponsor an autism can do scholarship. We just started our summer intern who has autism. We have an internship for people with autism. And it's not, well, let's wait until the end of the year and see if we have any money and write a check. No, it's baked into what we do. It's a promise that we give to our customers.
Yeah.
You're going to buy from us and this is what we support. And then it's doing more than just writing checks. It's holding events, going to events for our charity partners. But most of all, the most important pillar is inspiration to
Yeah.
people. We want to show the world what's possible. And at one level, it's showing what a social enterprise can do. It's showing that you can build a business on love. But more specifically, it's showing what people with different abilities can do. So John here, we start with him. You have Down syndrome, right?
I do.
We don't put John in the back. We don't hide him. You're the face of the business.
Yes, I am.
What's your title?
I'm a chief happiness officer.
Chief Happiness Officer. And who's the boss?
I am.
You're the boss.
I love it.
People with differing abilities. So we've got 22 out of 34 employees have a different ability. But that's not enough. We want to show the world. So just the same way you're, broadcasting on YouTube and Facebook, we're creating content all the time. No broccoli. Nothing that your mother is going to say, sit here, eat this, this is good for you. It's got to be entertaining, and it's got to show people as they are. So if you work for us, you're going to be in our content. You're going to be in videos and pictures, right?
Right.
You love doing these TikTok videos.
Yes.
Then we host tours and work groups from schools and social service agencies. One of the benefits of that came out of the pandemic is now we do them virtually. So we've got schools from around the world. We've had more than 1,000 students come through our place and see, look what's possible. And we do speaking engagements, and there are podcast interviews like this or one of those. And we're so appreciative that you have us on your show. Right?
Absolutely.
It's cool to say we've been on Boss Radio. But because we want to go out and share that story. So we've, before the pandemic and the world is opening up again, we've crossed the country doing speaking engagements at corporate events, colleges and universities, schools. We're going down next week or a week after. We're going to North Carolina to speak at a real estate agent conference. We're going to North Dakota. We're going to Texas. We're going to Oklahoma, it seems. That'll be good. We'll get to go to Tulsa.
Yeah,
and we do advocacy work.
Yeah.
The business has given us a platform so people are willing to listen to us. And that creates an obligation for us to make use of that. So we've testified twice before Congress. We've met many times with legislators. We've spoken at the United Nations. We spoke at the New York State Assembly. I'll give you a somewhat humorous example. We were down one day on Capitol Hill, and we got a call in our office from a customer in Houston saying, I see Mark and John are on Capitol Hill. My mother works there, and she's a big fan of John's. Do you think she could meet John? And our colleague said, sure. Here's Mark's cell phone number. Text him your mom's contact information. Well, who was mom?
Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi.
Wow.
So we now go and get to meet with Nancy Pelosi. And
Wow.
we're at a difficult point in our history, in our society. We vilify our elected officials. We forget their humanity. It's one thing to disagree on policy, but we're so mean-spirited. I forget where you stand politically with Nancy Pelosi. At her heart, she's an Italian grandmother. We come in and she's warm and lovely, and she takes out pictures to show John of socks that she gave to former President Bush the elder, George H.W. Bush, because John had somewhat famously become sock buddies with the former president. They used to exchange socks. So all this is warm and lovely, and we have this opportunity. But now it creates an obligation. If we're going to get the chance to meet with the Speaker of the House, we also said, now, Ms. Pelosi, we have to talk to you. about eliminating the sub-minimum wage that allows upwards of 200,000 people in this country to be paid as little as 25 cents an hour simply because they have a disability. And that's
Mm.
right?
Wow.
We got to talk to her about breaking the connection between Medicaid and work so that our colleagues are not forced to choose between working and keeping their benefits. So if you give us that obligation, we're going to show up. Well, I mean, you give us that opportunity, we're going to show up.
Wow, that is simply amazing. I am so happy with the work that you guys are doing. I would say proud. I know I'm not related to you. I'm not your mom. I'm not anybody, but I'm just very proud of the work that you all are doing, the advocacy, which is amazing. Definitely what you have been doing with your philanthropic efforts. I mean, all of it is really amazing, and you have built a company that is very responsible, corporately responsible, socially responsible, as you guys called yourself, social entrepreneurs. And so I just really think that this is really important for people to hear about and understand, not only what you were talking about, the 5 pillars, which is amazing advice for any business owner, but the fact of, you know, being an advocate for the people who work for you and making your workplace a great place to work is like at the top. That is
Why would you
an
do
amazing
otherwise?
thing to do. Yeah,
You know,
it only helps.
and listen, we have no special powers. There is nothing we spoke about that requires the proverbial rocket science. You know, we weren't back with a lot of money. We had very tough times that we, by the end of, we grew fast, we dropped, we come back up. By the end of 2019, we were teetering on bankruptcy. It's not always going to be easy, but you can do it. You know, look at us. At the end of the day, we're just a couple of knuckleheads selling socks, and yet all we want to do
And change the world.
change the world. And why not? Right?
Well, I think you guys are definitely doing just that. Well, this has been great. The time like flew past, but this has been an amazing interview, you guys. I'm so happy to have had you on and hear about all of the amazing things that John's Crazy Socks and the amazing John, you are really doing an awesome job over there running the company. Great job.
Thank you.
And you guys are definitely spreading happiness. I can tell. And I'm gonna have to get me a pair of socks. I need to get a pair of socks. I have to figure out which socks I need to order.
Well, then we should put a pitch in. Where can people get those socks?
And John's Crazy Socks.com.
John's
Yes.
CrazySocks.com. And you know, listen, you can go there, you get great socks. We have the custom socks. If you want to check out our podcast, what's the podcast?
And Spreading Happiness Podcast.
Spread and Happiness Podcast. Now,
Yes.
we bowed to you, NJ. We're not, you know,
Stop.
we're not really in competition there, but we're on all the regular platforms. You can see that on our website. And here's something else, right? Pandemic comes, people are locked down. You got to figure out, how do you spread happiness? So what do you do every Tuesday afternoon?
I host a dance party every Tuesday at 3 p.m.
John hosts an online dance party.
Is this on TikTok?
No, on Zoom. You get like people dancing with him on Zoom. So that's on our website too. What more, you know, on a slow Tuesday afternoon, you're feeling down, come and dance with John.
Oh my gosh. Look, your website even sounds fun. Guys, go to John's Crazy Socks. It's a lot of fun stuff on there. Podcasts, dance parties, crazy socks, get it all. You guys, awesome. And also, you guys are on Facebook, just cycling through.
Facebook and Instagram, and you're
Instagram.
growing
Yeah.
on LinkedIn. And yeah, you like those TikToks, huh?
I do.
There's the TikTok to catch John on TikTok, you guys. This has been amazing. And also your YouTube channel.
Yeah, we put
YouTube
everything out
channel.
there. We do a Facebook Live show on Thursday nights. You tell jokes,
I
you
do.
entertain. During the football season, we
Right.
make football picks. We'll have a hard time the first week of the season because what team do we root for?
I need chess.
And they're playing the Baltimore Ravens.
Mm.
And it turns out like the Ravens are like a good team.
Well,
And
thanks for acknowledging.
And it may not be. When John and I start watching the game, if it's a 1 o'clock game,
Okay.
we see how late can we still be happy? Can we still be happy when it's 1:30, 2 o'clock? And I'm afraid on that game by 1:15, you'll be in a sour mood.
John in a sour mood. I can't see it.
Oh, in the morning, it's like you have
No.
awakened the bear from hibernation. No. Are you a morning person?
No, I'm not.
No.
Don't worry, John. Me neither. I don't like the morning either. I like to stay up late and get up late.
Yeah, I like that too.
And John can be a very angry sports fan. We're also Met fans, and if we're watching a ball game and the Mets give up some runs, he'll start yelling at TV, "Turn that off! I don't want to hear it anymore. Turn this off."
I love it.
Man.
That's called passion, John. That's passion. That's what that is. Oh, thank you guys so much. You have made my cheeks are hurting. You guys have made me laugh. You have been awesome guests. Thank you for joining us today.
Well, NJ, thank you. You should give a shout out to Boss Radio, right?
Yes, that.
Folks, you got to listen to NJ and Boss Radio.
Thank you guys. All right. You guys have been amazing guests today. And we will see you later. Everybody, my amazing guests, John and Mark, have been a party today. So thank you guys for joining us. Make sure you share this episode. It has been so much fun. And once again, thank you, John and Mark, for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, you guys, that is another episode down. An amazing start to season 2. Amazing guest to bring season 2 in. And that was definitely an inspirational start, an inspirational bang to season 2. So you guys make sure that you check John's Crazy Socks out. There's a website again. It's going to be also in the post for today's show. You guys check them out. Go order you some crazy socks that will put you in a better mood. This has been an amazing show, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, until the next time, everyone, stay boss.